Alright, time to try and complete a request that's been on my list for ages. I do actually keep a list of all the requests that have never been completed, and some of them are on that list because they're too difficult, they're just never going to be possible. And some of them are maybe a little bit too easy, or too similar to something that I've done in the past, which is why they tend not to get worked on. But this one, when I went and checked, it had actually been requested by 3 different people. And I'll put their comments up on screen. And you can actually see that one of them is 5 months old. So it's crazy to think that it's been on the list that long. But I guess that comment was probably posted during the period where chocolate cake was going crazy on YouTube. Everyone was uploading videos with Rhino chocolate cake and Egyptian vulture chocolate cake. And that was after it was discovered that chocolate cake will trigger the knockout ability when the pet knocks itself out. So kind of a weird interaction, but it is kind of funny, and I assume that's why it's still in the game, even though it almost certainly was a bug originally. But the build that all 3 people requested was a 4 squad. We have Rhino at the front with mushroom, Tiger behind with onion, then Seagull with chocolate cake, and Pteranodon at the back. So we've got the Seagull here, and I decided for a change that I was just going to set up my pack with all the stuff that I don't normally take and just make it this as easy for myself as I possibly could, because I felt like this team was going to really struggle to get a win. So I put in Monkey, Banana Pill, just the full works. But in this particular game, I end up getting Strawberry on the Seagull, and I feel like Strawberry with Seagull is pretty solid because you can get the strawberries for free, and then you can look for a shoe bill and help scale your entire team that way. And then later on, we can transition to using all the different perks that we need for the build to actually work. I did a chocolate cake plus Egyptian vulture video a while back, and a lot of those runs just kept losing because I gave the Seagull the chocolate cake too early. And of course, the Seagull is going to faint itself as soon as you give it the chocolate cake. So all this scaling that we're getting here would go to waste. So we'll take this Stingray and then go for the flashlight. And the Stingray gets the free strawberry, although I wasn't really intending keeping the Stingray at this point, but I think it's actually going to be quite a long time before I find the Rhino, so we end up hanging on to it. Here's a team that has a lot of figs. You don't see them all that often in customs compared to Golden Pack, but they do show up from time to time. So turn 9 we can potentially find the Rhino now, but I actually end up finding double shoe bill here. I maybe could have bot sold this stoked, in case I ended up getting either a Rhino or another shoe bill. But instead, we're going to give the shoe bill strawberry, and then I think I'm just going to level 2 it. I think maybe I considered having 2 separate shoe bills there, but we end up finding another Stingray, so we'll go with that. And I think we're probably going to be okay here, depends what comes out of the stork. We actually get Blobfish, which gives the baboon a lot of stats. And we are going to tie. Now there is currently a test running on the test server with changes to a lot of the units. Shoe bill may be one that ends up getting changed. I'm not sure about that. But I think Blobfish is going to no longer give extra stats, which I think is definitely a very sensible change. It's already super strong to be able to get chocolate so easily. So yeah. Fair enough to just get rid of the extra stats. We get deer this time from the stork. Stork's another one that I used to play it constantly, but I just had used it too much and I felt like, I don't want it to be in every single video. But you can just see how strong it can be when you have the right pets in the pack for the stork to spawn. So now that we're on turn 11, I actually pill the stork in the hopes of getting a Rhino, and instead we get alpaca, which is no good. and I'm keeping a stingray rather greedily in order to refresh the level 2 flashlight. But we really do need to find the Rhino, or at least a Pteranodon, so that we can start benefiting more from this shoebill. Both the stingray and the baboon are going to have to be sold, so it's only the seagull is actually receiving any permanent buffs here. And ultimately, we also know that the seagull is going to have chocolate cake. So in battle, even if the seagull gets to 50-50, it's just going to faint as soon as it reaches the front. Unless the opposing team maybe has a weakness or something like that, in which case our combo with the chocolate cake would be broken anyway. So the seagull actually hits 50-50 because of the level 2 flashlight. Now I can take the level up. We do get tiger, so that's something at least. And we can bring it in, and now the baboon and the shoebill will start scaling it. Although there's nothing for the tiger to actually do in the battle yet. I think, do I end up putting the tiger to the front next turn? I can't remember. But this is such a rare situation where I would already have a 50-50 on turn 12. Very seldom that I have enough scalers in the pack to actually achieve that. But we're just going to roll down, look for Rhino and Pteranodon. And we need a lot of perks as well, so we're kind of running out of time. You can see it's turn 7. We're on 7 wins rather. And we're still missing 2 pets and also 3 different, actually 4 perks, I guess, because we probably want something on the Pteranodon to protect it. But just in the nick of time, we get the Rhino, and it's going to receive the buffs from the flashlight next turn. It's not going to do much this turn though, with the stats as low as they are. A jump team, but we are going to be able to kill through Melon there and scrape the tie. So 2 pretty clutch ties there, I think, helping us keep this run alive. And do I take the chocolate? Okay, because it was a tie, I'd take the chocolate there. I think maybe if I was on 8, I would just have had to roll past it. Clearly we would rather have a higher level Rhino because we need the Rhino plus Tiger interaction to do a lot of heavy lifting come the end of the run. Now, because of those ties, we are actually going to go quite late as well. This is a very odd team with the level 2 fairy, and we end up removing a lot of stuff with the Rhino ability. But because of the Kappa respawning, we don't have enough space on our team. And their turkey is going to buff the units up to be stronger than the ones that they gave to us. But I think the 50-50 stats on the seagull is going to serve us well. And we're okay. So 8 trophies. And we'll take the level up on the Rhino rather, and we get the Pteranodon. So I think here I might actually give up on the shoebill. I can't remember exactly what happened here. It is a lot of stats, but the stats on the seagull, like I was saying, are wasted. And we also need to find a bunch of perks. So there's the mushroom. You can freeze that. And I actually very fortunately roll an onion in the open slot there. So that's 2 down, but we still need 2 more. And we're not going to have enough gold next turn to find them, I don't think. But luckily here we face the Leech Camel plus Monkey plus T-Rex, so we're not going to have a chance against that. And we sacrifice a life, but it does give us more time. And okay, I don't actually buy the mushroom or the onion. That was probably a little bit suspect there. Maybe I should have given up on the shoebill. But I think maybe I'm concerned because we're ending up so late in the day. You know, turn 16. We really need lucky opponents like this one. Where the Rhino can actually sweep the whole squad. Because any stats-based team that has Melon is just going to destroy us. So now we're on 9. Shoebill can go. We can buy the 2 perks. But we're not going to have enough gold to find the chocolate cake. And hopefully some kind of protection for the Pteranodon. So I do find a Rhino. Now I do roll double mushroom, but you can't put mushroom on the Pteranodon for this build because if the Pteranodon gets sniped, then the seagull will waste one of the chocolate cakes on the respawned 1-1 Pteranodon. So we have to be careful with the equipment we choose. So we're actually going to have to try and throw now. So we'll put Tiger Pteranodon at the front and then the big seagull at the back. And on turn 17, that should be adequate to throw. But we also face Warg plus Kraken with almost everything level 3. And so the whole squad gets deleted. So now we actually get the chocolate cake in the shop immediately. So the seagull is now a 50-50 that does absolutely nothing other than faint in battle. And we'll take the garlic on the Pteranodon to try and keep it alive. 11 HP on turn 18 is looking pretty feeble. And we face this double Mantis Shrimp team that does 40 damage to the Rhino, but we have 2 HP to spare. The 2 Rhinos respawn, trigger the chocolate cake. The Skunk's melon was removed there, but the 50-50 seagull faints, allowing the Rhino at the back to activate the chocolate cake and wipe the opposing team. So big thank you to that opponent for not having one more level on a single Mantis Shrimp, otherwise I think that run might have been over.